And let's see, we are live. I'm going to give it like 1 minute. We'll get started at 11:30. Um, and I'm going to go live today to discuss my thoughts on the politics of fashion and how we can see fashion psychology playing out in the world around us, specifically regards to the inauguration of Donald Trump, the 47th president of the United States, yesterday. So I'm going to give it a few minutes, but some housekeeping. Just some basic housekeeping. First things first, I'm coming down off of a flu. So I do have a little bit of a post-viral cough. So my voice might sound kind of crazy. Might sound a little scratchy. And if I'm a little low, I'm talking as loud as I can right now. Um, so I do apologize if there's any audio issues because of that. But it should be good. The audio should be clear. It's just my voice. It's just my chest. It's a little congested still. Next part of housekeeping. Today we are talking about style. We are going to talk about politics a little bit. If conversations around politics make you uncomfortable, I apologize. This probably isn't going to be the live for you. But if the conversation around style and how style can really speak to your visibility, can really speak to your mission and what you're trying to portray, how style and power go hand in hand, then this is a really interesting conversation for you to be a part of, whether you are excited about who's president or not. It's something that is a lesson that we can all learn and pick up and take away from. We won't just be talking about the political figures per se. I will be talking about just generally people who are there and some of the fashion statements they made and what these things mean. What these things can mean for the American future. And it may seem really silly to some to say the American future has something to do with people's style and the outfits people are wearing, but it actually really does. It really does. So, all coughing aside, I'm going to hop into it. And the first person I wanted to talk about is just the person I had the most critique for. I'm just gonna hop into that one first. And that was our good friend Lauren Sanchez. Let's see. So I'm sure many of you have seen the images already, but Lauren wore. This is what Lauren Sanchez wore. Lauren Sanchez, for those who don't know, is the longtime fiance of Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon. Now, she chose to wear a all-white ensemble. I do think all white looked lovely on her. I also think that that's just really great for her color palette. However, she wore a beautiful white blazer with this gorgeous white lace corset underneath it that didn't really leave much to the imagination. Now, if she was going out with the girls for brunch, if she was maybe on the more like creative or casual side of like a conference, maybe she could have got away with this. But personally, as a style coach, I never, ever, ever would have encouraged a client to wear something bedroom inspired, like a lace corset that is also has sheer, features to it, to an event like an inauguration or anything that is related to politics, fundraising, anything legal. I think that there's nothing wrong with a woman feeling sexy, being sexy, but your style says a lot about your ability to read the room. And unfortunately, the way that Lauren Sanchez was dressed gives while we all are aware that she looks amazing for her age. It does still give the vibe that she doesn't know how to read the room. Now, Lauren Sanchez is a very intelligent woman. She has been a news anchor. She runs her own company. I don't think Jeff Bezos is going to, get engaged to someone that he can't have an intelligent conversation with, obviously. However, there is a level of style where we have to understand, like, even if, say, your style archetype is the lover archetype, and um, that is just who you are and that's how you want to get dressed. There's nothing wrong with that. However, I would have said that a beautiful silk white top would have done exactly what this outfit needed it to do without drawing negative attention. So I will say, I just had to cover Lauren Sanchez first because this was not appropriate. It was not appropriate, especially being that you're sitting up in the front, behind the president of the United States. Feel about him what you may. This was not the appropriate outfit. Many people obviously have given their 2 cents on it, but I think that, once again, our style will speak to our ability to read the room. Our style will speak for us when we don't get to say anything. And this is not an event where Lauren Sanchez got up and said something. So, you know, she is a public figure. It's not that she cares about public opinion per se, but it does speak to how people will associate her and her personal brand. Now, we've always known her as being hot. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That is something that is a part of her brand. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. However, you can still look hot without being overly inappropriately exposed. Um, so that's Lauren. Still love you, girl. I think she's a very intriguing woman. I think that Lauren Sanchez is a very intelligent woman. I just don't think this was a great outfit choice for her at this moment. Um, so next up, I want to talk about the next very, very, very interesting look that we had from Melania Trump. And there's just so much to unpack with this look. There's so much to unpack with this look here. There is so much to unpack with this look. I think that this look is gorgeous. Let's just start there. She have the hat and the outfit were made by 2 different designers, but they collaborated on it. Um, I am going to talk about her look for the first inauguration that she was in later, but I just want to first focus on how she dressed yesterday. So her look was beautiful. However, if you were to go back and look at clips and you look around the entire room, very, very few people, men and women, are wearing hats. The etiquette of wearing a hat is something that I think has kind of gotten lost in the American people. Like, people used to wear hats every day, as just like a casual thing. You would wear a hat to go to the grocery store. You would wear a hat to go to work. But consider this, right? The etiquette of wearing a hat from the male standpoint. You might have seen maybe old videos on YouTube or on TV, or maybe you've seen it happen in real life where you've seen a man walk into a room and he would take his hat off as a sign of respect for the room that he stepped into. Um, I don't think that Melania was necessarily disrespecting the room she was stepping into. Sorry, one moment. I don't think she was disrespecting the room she went into, but I do feel that a point was being made by wearing a hat where you could not even see her eyes. The reason for not having a hat on in a room like that, the reason most people are not wearing a hat in a room like that is, well, one, there's cameras there and they're actually wanting to be seen by camera, but also, two, it would be considered in poor taste to wear a hat to an event like that. or at least to wear a hat to an event like that and keep it on the entire time. Now, I don't believe, again, that Melania was trying to disrespect the event, but I do believe that there is a level of hiding that Melania is doing by wearing a hat like this. We could barely see her face the whole time. Now, maybe she was feeling very emotional and she didn't want to be seen on camera in an emotional state. Maybe she's just not feeling maybe she's not feeling ready for that second term in the White House. I do still think she looked amazing. I still think that this is beautiful. It's very classy. The coat fit her very well. A double-breasted coat, button-up coat is beautiful on her body type. The collar, the lapel of the jacket is also very beautiful, and the navy blue was lovely. However, the vibe that it brought because of the hat was very much so a woman in mourning. um, and yeah, I do think that again, it was beautiful, but I would say again, obviously this is not as egregious as the Lauren Sanchez outfit faux pas, but wearing a hat to an event like this, especially a hat that is covering your face and not taking it off, is a fashion faux pas. Now, I want to dive into a little bit more why I feel that she has chosen this hat, knowing that on purpose. As many of us do know, and we've seen, and Melania's even admitted in interviews, being a first lady was never necessarily something that she was like going for or necessarily expecting to do. Donald Trump becoming president was probably a bit of a surprise to her, as it was for most of us. And I think that, we've seen how first ladies get treated. We've seen how Melania Trump has been treated. We've seen how Michelle Obama has been treated. Over time, we have really, our media has really picked apart the first lady. Really, really, really has. It really, really has, especially the more controversial they believe you are, like Michelle Obama being the first Black woman, Melania Trump being in a relationship with Donald Trump, and people having things to say about their age difference, people having things to say about why she's with him, and things like that. I think that Melania has been under a lot of fire. I will say that. I do find her to also be a very intriguing woman. She's also a very intelligent woman as well. However, and that is why I do say I do believe that when she went in with a hat, it was just much more of her just trying to have some level of privacy in this moment, this very, very public moment. Now, if we look back to her outfit that she wore to the first inauguration, there have been past interviews where she did say that, if she were to become first lady, she would definitely want to take a more Jackie Kennedy approach, the Jackie O approach. She definitely brought that vibe for her very first inauguration, and then experienced that first 4 years of what first ladyhood feels like. So you can definitely see how fashion has played a role. Both of these dresses, both this in this baby blue dress with the bolero, with a cowl neck and the beautiful gloves. Again, very classy, always elegant, always looking amazing. But she's bringing a very different vibe. Another thing you'll notice is that even here, Melania is wearing a pair of earrings for the first inauguration. Sorry, brain fog. You'll notice that she's wearing a pair of like silvery, almost pearl-like earrings, whereas she has kept it jewelry-less for the second inauguration. So my thoughts and prayers are definitely with Melania right now. I know that this is not an easy position for her to be in. It is not. I actually do sometimes feel kind of bad for her, but I think that, again, she did look amazing both times. Both times she looked amazing, but you'll notice that the way you accessorize can completely shift the way that you are, the energy that you're bringing to an event, a function, and once again, what people are perceiving about you. I perceive Melania in the previous inauguration. I perceive her to be dressed like a woman in mourning, quite honestly. Um, we're moving on to our next person. So next up, I want to talk about Usha Vance. Usha also looked lovely, I will say. Like nobody looked bad. Sorry, Lauren. Lauren was not a great look. Usha, I've actually really found her ensemble to be very interesting. Um, I'm not going, I could get into the men's fashion if you all are interested. But I do focus on women's fashion. Um, but focusing on Usha here, this pink is lovely on her. I do think that the use of pink is very interesting choice. She did still wear pink and look very much so like a mature, grown, thoughtful woman. I think that a lot of times pink um, it is associated with innocence, sometimes naivety, or sometimes, you know, kind of being somewhat aloof and unaware. However, the way that her coat is structured, it definitely grounds the pink, which is why I find her outfit so amazing. I want to say it's Oscar de la Renta, who does very well balance the maturity and the femininity in his pieces. But here, what I really, really love, again, she's wearing the pink. She is wearing floral earrings. There is a youthfulness about it, but she's also still at the same time very proudly rocking her grays. So I think she found a very beautiful balance of like a youthful, hopeful approach to her look, especially knowing that she was going to be one of the very few people of color up there on the stage. Um, but at the same time, still being grounded, still being mature with this look. And part of it is also the way that this look is belted and has the scarf is what I find so interesting. How the scarf is tucked into the belt instead of sitting outside of the belt. I do think that that is very beautifully done. Now, if we look at the full look, let's really get into our full look here. These boots have been very, very popular. Everybody is really loving a good pair of suede brown boots, suede brown purse. I've even seen beautiful suede brown pants. Of course, the brown is a little taupe just to match better with this pink, and she's wearing the cream gloves. But you'll notice once again with this pink ensemble here, we're definitely getting a youthful, innocent vibe. Now, her husband has been very controversial. Um, and I think that in some ways that the look that she brought in here was also one, it looks amazing on her, but two, was also to be a support to her husband in this um, inauguration event. Standing beside him, obviously, but also a woman's presence, especially in an event like this in her husband's life or her partner's life, whomever, her presence, that feminine presence, is really stepping in and almost serving as a character witness reference for her partner in this case. I don't know her husband. I don't know VP Vance on a personal level, but there has been a lot of controversy that came along with him. He is a very polarizing man in many ways, as being a woman of color. She is one of his few saving graces. Um, and showing up in the pink, um, showing up, if you go back and watch the recordings of her at the inauguration, the smile was plastered on, and she definitely was bringing the vibes of supportive wife who believes in her husband. And I think that that pink was very intentionally done. And once again, I will say, husband aside, it looks very good. It looks amazing. A lot of women I know, especially the women who are killing it, tend to be really afraid to wear pink because they think that wearing pink means that you're going to look too childlike. Pink can be done in a very mature, very elegant, and still very capturing way like this. And what you want to do if you're interested in wearing pink, but you're not sure how, is allow yourself to wear any sort of pink that looks amazing on you, whether it's baby pink, hot pink, whatever. But make sure that you're paying attention to the structure and the form of the piece that you're wearing, because this would be a beautiful piece in blue, brown, red, whatever. Um, but you'll just notice here that the pink was very much so intentionally done. People wouldn't normally wear pink to an event like this, but I do think that she wanted to bring the vibe of innocence, a vibe of freshness to her husband's event because he kind of needed it. um, okay, so next up, I want to talk about this beautiful look that our justice brought out. Now, obviously, we have justices who would normally just wear the black cloak and not much else. Her coming in with these cowrie shells did make a very huge statement. And it brought a big statement around, sorry, justice. I'm very curious. I do not know where she got this jewelry piece from. I will be looking it up and looking into it because it is gorgeous. But even if you look back to the history and the meaning and the definition culturally behind the cowrie shell, it is also associated with feminine justice. A lot of times, historically speaking, if we go way back far enough, women were judges, women were the law, women were the legal system. Especially if you look at matriarchal cultures like some African cultures, some indigenous cultures, you will see that women were very much so involved in the law. Her showing up wearing these cowrie shells, which are very traditional to African spirituality, very also along with many Caribbean cultures as well. Her bringing in these cowrie shells as almost the bib to the judge's cloak. That is very traditional in European culture, to see the bib or even like the big wig. Instead, she is choosing to wear the white cowrie shells instead. And I think that that was very beautifully and tastefully done, and very necessary at this event. Um, Also, these sharp, sharp glasses are amazing. I think that I see so many women who are wearing glasses, and oftentimes they feel like their glasses are throwing off their outfit. I think that now more than ever is a great time to just invest in getting some great frames that fit your face shape perfectly. Identify what your face shape is. I do those services inside of Style Foundation. Identify what your face shape is, identify what glasses would look best on you, what earrings, what necklaces would look amazing on you. But yes, she looked amazing. And I really, once again, love that she brought in this beautiful cowrie necklace as a nod towards a judge's bib. And last but certainly not least, we have Ivanka Trump. Now, she got a lot of backlash on this outfit because it does look like The Handmaid's Tale. It does. It is a beautiful outfit. I believe that this is also Oscar de la Renta as well. Um, It has a beret. Um, Again, this beautiful outfit was done very well. You'll note that a lot of women are wearing belted jackets. Again, I think that, in these colder months, having a belted jacket is very crucial if you are someone who lives somewhere where it really truly gets cold, it really snows. You do not have to sacrifice style because it's cold outside. You can absolutely bring in fashion almost even on a higher level with gloves and hats and scarves and very well tailored jackets. Um, Now, the color choice is questionable. Do I think that Ivanka Trump was trying to look like one of the wives out of the Hot Handmaid's Tale? I wouldn't say she was trying to, but I would say that she accidentally did. The color choice was interesting. It is a beautiful green. However, her team probably should have stepped away from this color. It was kind of tone deaf. It was a little tone deaf. Um, But again, it was beautifully structured. I think if it was a navy, a red, any other color would have been great. Color psychology is important, from the level of understanding what colors evoke from different people, especially when you are standing behind a mission of some sort. Um, Even if she wore khaki, it would have been better. It just was poor decision on the color choice. So, if you are getting on stage and you are speaking to people, you are going to be recorded, you're going to be broadcasted, you know, it's important to keep these things in mind. So that is it. That is my analysis for the fashion that was brought out for the inauguration. There were some poor decisions made. There were also some very interesting statements being made when you really pay attention to it. But fashion across the board really says a lot about where we are as a society and where we're going as a society. Um, it also says a lot about who you are, what you value, and where you're going. So if you know that in the year 2025, you are going to be making bigger moves this year, whether that be in politics, in business, um, in sales, in the innovative projects that you're working on, and that you understand that you would like for your fashion, for your closet, for your wardrobe, for your style to be a tool in getting you further versus the thing that's hindering you and holding you back, then I highly suggest that you head over to it's Kyla.com and book a style foundation with me for $297. We will sit down for 90 minutes and we will get your style foundation set to get you from wearing throwing something on each morning and just hoping for the best to having a clear and concise closet with easily mixed and match pieces that aligns with your superpower and is actually functional for your lifestyle. So I'm going to head out. You all have a great day. And again, it is a very touch and go season right now. So take care of yourself. I will see you all later. Bye.